Welcome to our Friday, the second to last Friday of August. Who here is feeling maybe a little overwhelmed, maybe a little underwhelmed? Could be either way. I wanted to get on and do kind of a little moment of Friday refocus because for many reasons, I feel that this week so many people have been in an interesting energy. I've talked to many friends and, just people in my life that are just feeling overwhelmed and kind of just stuck. And so sometimes, well, most of the time, what can help that is kind of refocusing and focusing on something maybe specific or more beneficial to us than what we might originally want to go to when we're in this feeling, right? When we're feeling a little bit overwhelmed or unsure. And I'm personally just coming out of kind of a couple of months in particular, but for sure the last month, coming out of feeling lost and unsure of who, where, why, all the things, who I was. And so it's just on my heart to talk about this. And so I want to start this out by taking a couple of deep breaths because, my body needed it. Personally, I just really needed that as well. But my body needed it. Our bodies need it. And so often we're like, our shoulders are up to our ears and our back is tight and we're clenching our jaw and we're doing these things that are just not serving us, but it's because we're so overwhelmed and we're feeling so stressed and whatever it is in that moment that we just like hunker in. So let's start by kind of refocusing our minds and our bodies and our energy by taking a few deep breaths here. So if you're in a space where you can, close your eyes, feel free to do that. If you are not and you're just listening to this in the background of doing other things, just breathe and keep those eyeballs, those peepers open. So take a couple deep breaths here. So really nice, just like let those shoulders come down. Maybe you want to stretch your neck a little, rotate, move your arms, whatever it is, but just really bring in a breath all the way to the top as much as you can. Fill it up. And sometimes I feel like, at least for me personally, when I haven't been breathing really well and I haven't been giving myself any nourishing breaths, it's like hard to do it. So if you're feeling that restraint, don't let it deter you from taking a bigger breath. And once you're kind of in a flow, continue taking some breaths here. And as I'm talking, keep that at the forefront of your mind of when you start to maybe breathe a little more shallow or feel some stress kind of pop back up into your body. See if you can just kind of, let it out, like refocus it. Be here, let it go. And so keep on doing some of those deep breaths. To start our conversation, I'm going to pick a little question here out of my little deck. If you've ever been on live with me before, which it's been a while since I've really went live, especially consistently, but my plan is to do just that. I like to pull like a question from this. It's called Empowering Questions. It's kind of hard to see. Let's see. Facebook land, Instagram land. And it's just something to get the thought provoking. And a lot of times does not surprise me because this is the world that I live in, like that it makes sense with like the topic and the conversation that we're having on. And so I'm going to do that. And then we'll have a little chit chat. And if anybody is on or wants to talk or, I love a conversation. That's what I'm here for. Connection, conversation. So let's have it. I had a great conversation the last time I went live with those that were on. But even if you're on the replay, say hello, drop an emoji just to let me know you're here, whatever it is. So let's do this real quick here. Let's do it. So let's see what question we get. I don't have it like something in front of me to like splay them out. So we're gonna just kind of wing it here. That's life sometimes. It's never quite just so. Okay. This is really, actually, I told you. Put those down there. What kind of feelings am I feeling right now? What kind of metaphors can I find to describe my feelings? So what are you feeling right now? Like what is bubbling up for you? And it's okay. It doesn't have to be a positive one. It doesn't have to be any sort. Like what is happening in your body and mind right now. Like I said, one of the reasons why I wanted to get on and kind of do this Friday refocus was because I talked to so many people that I know and love this week that are absolutely feeling demolished by stressors, by things not going as planned, by, X, Y, and Z. And so we're having a lot of feelings. We're having a lot of them pop up because that's human. And so for you, I want you to think, like, take a moment here. What is the feeling that's coming up with you? Or what is one that's maybe been kind of, that's just kind of been present. And it could be good, it could be negative, it could be, it could be a positive, whatever it is, what is it? And just kind of think, like, how does it make me feel? If it is on the positive side of things and it feels good, how can you continue creating more of that in your life? Like, why wouldn't we want to keep replicating that and continue, like, our focus on that? Maybe you've been having a new routine and you're feeling really good in it, like me. I've been having a good, like, morning WALK. There's literally a puppy right behind me, so I cannot say that word. And one next to me. But I am feeling energized in it. I'm feeling more grounded. I'm feeling more productive. I'm feeling a lot of things because of it. So I want to focus. Like, how do I continue keeping that on, even when it gets hard to continue keeping that on? If it's a negative feeling, like, for instance, you're feeling really frustrated with a person, with part of your job or business, what can you do to refocus that somewhere else? Or are you giving too much attention onto that negative feeling, emotion, etc., so that you need to refocus onto finding your way on the other side of it? Because when we continue, like, focusing on the same thing over and over again, specifically when it's more negative and, like, not good feeling in our body, in our energy, we're going to keep bringing more of it in, right? Because we just start to, like, nitpick on things. We start to we say things that we probably don't even mean, or are just, you know what I mean? Like, just think about that. When you're mad and somebody maybe pokes the bear, what's the first thing that you're like you want to say something that just kind of, like, keeps fueling that? So there's a metaphor, right? Like, how do we undo that? Well, we don't necessarily undo it, but we take a different action. Okay, I, like, instinctively want to be like, rah, and just go into this, or I want to dig into it deeper, and I want to keep digging the hole of, hey, Julie, how's it going? Sorry, I'm, like, the first time in a while that, hey, Lori, that I'm doing 2 lives, so I'm getting used to that. Or 2 phones, I should say, for Instagram and Facebook. But how do we find a way to not just keep perpetuating the feeling that we're having? If you're feeling really frustrated or depleted, like, there is a way to shift it. And when we're at the bottom of the barrel, it's the last thing we think or feel that we can attempt to do, right? Like, because you're just like, nope, there's no other solution. This situation is crappy. This person's treating me awful. I'm treating myself awful, right? Like, whatever it is for you. But the thing is, the reality is, those stories are just going to keep replaying in our minds, and it's going to just keep us seeing only kind of like this, like, sharpshooter for the things that are not supporting us in the best way possible within it. So this Friday refocus is to think about what's happening in your life right now that maybe you can make some shifts in, right? Or if there's really some great pieces and spots that are happening, like, how do we keep those going? How do we keep letting that grow, right? Because the last couple months when I was kind of in my deep, dark, kind of not good space, mentally, physically, a lot of things, there was a couple times, like, when I was just like, this is never going to end. I'm going to feel like this forever. I absolutely know it, right? And I'm smiling and kind of bringing some levity to that because it sounds silly for me right now, for myself personally, to think that, like, what was happening, truly, I felt like it was going to be decades before I could get out of it. I was having physical pain for some things I've got going on in my back, which is, right? Like, that doesn't need to be permanent. Doesn't, like, yes, I might have, ebbs and flows, and it might be good days and bad days, but it doesn't have to be my story to just be like, that is it. Like, I'm always going to be at this level of pain. I'm going to always, all that stuff. I also was having kind of I don't know. I don't even know how to word it right now because it's like I'm still processing some of it, which is why I want to be talking with other people, because I know that we're all going through something. We always have something going on, right? Even if it's minuscule and tiny, teeny tiny, which we hope is more often than not. But from like an emotional, from an energetic standpoint, I was depleted. It's like I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to like quit everything. I didn't want to, and y'all who know me know that I love what I do, but it doesn't mean it's hard to do sometimes. And this season was really hard to do it. I made a few mistakes in my business, and it was embarrassing. It was uncomfortable. It was a lot of different things because I wasn't my best self. And so I needed to be like, this can't keep just like feathering out into my life. I need to figure out a way to find a better option for myself. I need to find a better way to not feel as though this is the only answer, that just continuously like going down the barrel is the only thing that is possible. Because it's not true, really, in any situation. Some might be trickier and stickier than others, but it's not. Let's see, can totally relate, but when you're going through it, that's how you feel. Absolutely. And you have to validate that. It's really, really important. It's really important. I have a personality that when I'm not in like the depths of the darkest days, I can usually kind of like pull up and be like that positive Pollyanna. But here's the thing that's really important to me. It's really important to me to remind us all that that is not a space and a place that we can be in always, and is not the answer to everything, because you have to feel the hard. Because like you said, Lori, it's like you were feeling that way. It's real. That's what you were feeling. Whether it was completely valid or heightened by other situations or surrounding people, all the things, it still is valid for you. So getting to the point of focusing on like, what is it? It's okay that I'm feeling this way, but what can I do to help start shifting it is really important, at least in my world. So I feel like that's why I wanted to come on today. And I wanted to keep this short and sweet, unless people want to like conversate and go back and forth. I will stay on for longer, but I really wanted to urge everybody to take a couple deep breaths like we did when we first started. And if you hopped on after that, or you forgot, or you were on there but you stopped giving yourself those nourishing breaths, let's bring them back in. Bring them back in. And I wanted to just remind you that like as we go into the next couple of days, for many, people, their weekends are a little bit different than their, everyday Monday through Friday. And some it's not. Some that's like they're ramped up during the weekend, depending on your life, your industry that you're in, all the things. But what can you do before going into like the next big stretch of your week, the month, that can help you just see like just a little like peephole, a little tiny peephole of where you can go and move through and refocus. Or maybe it's a goal that kind of got away from you, that you were kind of doing good. Yeah, I've got a couple of those going on right now. I'm just quietly working on them. And there's days when I'm like, oh no, am I about to backpedal? Like you start to feel yourself going like getting comfy, like, oh, I've done enough work towards it or whatever it is. And then you're just like, you can feel it. Take a moment and just be like, I am safe. I am okay. I am worthy of making the decisions that best suit me at this moment in time. So whatever that is or means for you, take that in for a second. Maybe take a deep breath and think about that. Like, I am worthy and capable of making choices that serve my greatest needs. And then for those of us that are like, well, but I got to take care of so-and-so over here, or my kiddos over there, or all these piled up tasks and to-dos over there. Those are like starting to tell you like, no, well, you cannot take this time to do that because you got all these things to take care of. Remember, you're better in those. Now that I'm kind of on the uptick from this heavy space, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling more in control. And I'm feeling like I'm able to I'm like coming out of the hole, like, hi, there's a little bit of light here, hello. And I can breathe a little bit. But what's keeping me motivated when I feel like I'm backpedaling or wanting to go back to kind of the negative thoughts or things that were just so present in my everyday life, what keeps me moving forward is that I know that even if I can't do it for myself, that I'm a better wife, I'm a better sister, I'm a better business owner, I'm a better all the things when I take a moment to listen to the things that I'm called to do and be better within. Yeah? Hey, Victoria. Birthday girl. How's it going? Hoping that you're feeling all the freaking love today. All the love. But if you feel called to share, whether you're on live or on the replay, if you feel called to share something that you are feeling good within, and maybe something that you're feeling a little like sticky, tricky, icky in, feel free to share. You do not have to. This is a safe space, so whatever feels comfortable to you. But do know that like I'm here to, you know, help lift you up wherever I can. And so is the other people in my community. I love on live sometimes when everybody starts chit-chatting with each other. It's like the best thing I can ever experience, I swear. So if you feel called to, if you're celebrating something, or you need a little support in something, either way, or both. We have an and life. Like life is and. You can be really, 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 really stressed, but like feel really, really good in other parts of your life at the same time. Like it's a weird like space and dichotomy to be in a lot of times. And sometimes straddling it can feel very, at least for me, I won't put words into anybody else's experience, but for me, it can feel really odd because I'm like, oh, I feel really sad when I'm doing X, Y, and Z, right? Or, but then like, I'm also like ecstatic about this or for that person or whatever. And you're like, oh, like, I don't know how to feel right now. What do I do? You know, all the things. And so you're welcome. You're welcome. So I want to leave you with those kind of thoughts in your mind. Remember the question so perfectly in line with this conversation was, what kinds of feelings am I feeling are in me right now? And what kind of metaphors can I use to describe them? So maybe that can help you see a clearer picture to working through them, pulling the thread through them to make things make more sense for you and your needs. This is where we have to kind of shut out the world sometimes and like just do, just be, just create whatever it is that we need. Yeah. So I hope this leaves you all with just such, you know, hope if you are in a space that doesn't feel so good. I hope it reminds you that you're not alone. It feels really odd in life sometimes to share the harder parts. Sometimes we all have like that one person we'll share it with or a couple people, but like beyond that, it feels still very lonely. And even sharing with, you can share with 100 people and still feel lonely, right? Who am I kidding? But I want you to know you're not alone. You're perfect. You're perfect with what you are doing, how you are doing it. Just know that if you feel like there's no better way or that it's never going to be different or it's not going to end feeling like this, it will. There is always going to be another way. And there's unique qualities within you. Remember this. There's unique qualities within you that will always surface if you allow them the space to surface. So for me, it's clearing my mind. I've been taking WALKs by myself in the morning, which I feel so guilty because these little cutie patooties, they love it. Like, that's why I have to spell it. Like, I can't, you know, I can barely put shoes on. Is anybody else's dogs like that? Like, I can't even put shoes on without them thinking that's what we're doing. And I'm like, I have to wear shoes for other things, my friends. I know your world is very much more like monochromatic, but, and then I go, like, we do an evening one with them because they deserve, obviously, movement. But the morning ones have been spaces and places that I went into my brain that have been wildly necessary in this season of kind of coming out from, like, the crumbled dirt. Coming up from the earth, yeah? And find it. What is it for you? And, like, if you're like me, there's the excuses of, well, I don't have enough time to throw in a, you know, a morning walk or a, you know, whatever it is you need, coloring session, a, you know, whatever. put on music while you're getting ready and just let that be something that kind of starts shifting the way you feel. You know, it doesn't have to be monumental, and most of the time it isn't. It really isn't. So what is it for you that can help you? I'll leave you with that. And I hope that whatever it is that is happening in your life, the good pieces and parts continue to flourish and become more abundant, and the parts that are a little yucky start to wither and just kind of shrink away. So I love you all so much. I cannot wait to continue being on here more on lives, all the goodness, so stay tuned for that. I am going to be doing a poll on my story, so those of you who are, you know, like to hang out in stories and just kind of check in every so often, I will be on there. I want to do a poll, like what times and days are like best for people, because I would love to go live at least once a week, and just kind of getting, is like morning better, and people like later evening. What do we like? What do we, you know, what are we doing? So I kind of attempted before this kind of downward spiral into a not so fun headspace, tempted to figure out that, and kind of just got it lost in the shuffle, because, you know, I wasn't ready, but now I am, and I'm super here for creating connection with all of you, and finding things and topics and spaces and places that we can talk about together and grow together, all of that. So love you too, Victoria. I hope you have the best night and the best weekend celebrating yourself. I hope everybody else has a beautiful moment to celebrate themselves too, because even if it's not your birthday, like Victoria, you still get to celebrate. You get to celebrate something. Pick one small thing. Here's your dream work. We don't call it homework around here. One of my clients redubbed homework from, you know, our calls into dream work. So you have one piece of dream work, and that is to find something, a sliver. Even if you are the person who's like, nope, it's the hardest, craziest time right now. What is one sliver that you can just celebrate the heck out of for yourself? Whether you do it on your own or you have somebody next to you celebrating, do something. Put on a song and just bust a move. Even if you're not somebody who like usually likes dancing, just give it a try. See how that movement feels, you know? Yeah. So, oh, Julie, I'm so excited to grow together with you too. I love your spirit and your soul and all of the things. So yes, oh my gosh, I am so excited to be here in this kind of reignited way, and that you guys are all just here in my community. I cannot say how grateful I am for the people around me in my community and my family and all the things. I feel very grateful and blessed, and so stay tuned for all kinds of good things and so much fun to come, as well as some like deep kind of work as well, right? You know, fun is something that I think is really important to make shifts for ourselves, because having fun, laughing, you know, doing those things are what soothe the soul, but also doing some of that deep work, you know, is really important as well. Yeah, this morning I was emotional, and then friends threw me a tea party. Oh my gosh, you started your day, your birthday with a tea party. I love that so stinking much. So good. It's so good. So let's all have our quintessential, right, celebration of ourselves, of something. You guys, even if it is literally that you got your car washed this week and it's been something that's been just annoying you for the last 8 weeks or something, celebrate it. I am not kidding. If you had a little spy cam, a little fly on the wall in my house, you would see that sometimes I am like talking and just like happy and like laughing and screaming in the best way possible, not screaming like, you know, yelling, about the silliest of things. And I truly think that that's how my soul continues finding joy in the mundane. It continues finding happiness in the hard, all those things. So what is it for you? And just allow that space. Allow that space. If you want to share with me, let me know. You could even DM me. Just let me know what it is you're celebrating, so I can also send you that beautiful energy about what you're celebrating. If it's super private and in your heart space, honor that as well. I love you guys all so much. I will see you soon on the next live. Stay tuned to my stories. Come check them out and say hello. That's where I have the best conversations. I say it all the time, but it's so true and the absolute best part of this whole social media space. Stay tuned on there for polls on like best times for going live and things like that, so I can get as many kind of input as possible. I truly mean it when I say like I want to like this is a communicative space and place. It's not just me talking at you. This is a community of people together. So let's make it that. I will see you on the flip side, and have a most beautiful evening.